Well, thank you for clicking on this video. Of course, you know what we're going to be talking about today. We are still on trial watch, if you've watched our last video. Of course, obviously, we've had somewhat of a conclusion to the Ron Jeremy trial, as he's been committed to state mental hospital. We won't be seeing a trial on this aspect of what's going on with him. The judge will probably look back at this in May to just refresh what's been going on. Of course, we also have the Mercedes Carrera trial, which should be starting at the end of this month on the 27th, unless something does pause that again. And of course, we are still waiting for the lawsuits on MindGeek to continue. I know there are several that are ongoing right now. We'll see what happens. The one we're mainly looking at is the one that includes Visa on there, and it's been eerily quiet on that trial, and we're still looking into that and see what's going on as far as that. But today we are going to be looking at the WWE's former Hall of Famer, Tammy Sunny Sytch, or everyone knows as Sunny. Basically, she is supposedly going on trial for DUI manslaughter, that she basically killed somebody while behind the wheel of a vehicle while being unlicensed. And we know we've had a couple delays on this, but looks like we are going to have another delay because it looks like nobody's ready. Nobody's ready for this trial. I mean, how could you not be ready for a DUI manslaughter trial? You know, I call this is our failing criminal justice system that basically, you know, we're seeing it all over the country. I mean, here in New York, I mean, we have rampant crime increasing every day. I mean, this is the cover of the New York Post just alone this past Monday, right after the Super Bowl. Going back in crime, I mean, we're going back in time. I mean, you see the record felonies returning to the city's bad old days. Drapes up 17%, grand larcenies up 25%, robberies are up 26%. And the thing about it is, we just legalized marijuana in the city, and it's already a problem. It's already failing even out the gate. I mean, guys that aren't even licensed to sell, these smoke shops that are not licensed to sell are selling marijuana edibles on there. And on top of that, they're being ripped off. On top of that, we've had already 4 or 5 robberies at smoke shops that had illegal cannabis and edibles in there because they've been selling it straight out. This is what is going on, folks, and people don't realize this on there. But getting back to what's going on with Sunny, it looks like that just basically they, according to 411 Mania and PWIN Insider reports, they basically say that the defendant lawyers are asking for a continuance because they haven't gotten all their information. Now, according to the motion itself, under Florida Criminal P31.190, defendant Tamara Lynn Sytch moves for a continuance of the February 16, 2023 pretrial conference on the following grounds. 1. The defendant in the case is currently charged by information with 1 count of DUI manslaughter and 1 count of DWLS with death and 6 counts of a misdemeanor DUI. 2. Several rounds of depositions have been completed and additional depositions are outstanding and being scheduled in this matter. So that means they haven't gotten all the depositions together yet. All their witnesses haven't been, all their ducks in the row as far as witnesses is not completed. The defense is also waiting on law enforcement to either complete or provide a copy of the traffic homicide investigation report. Wow, really? This was, I think, was in Tampa? Jesus Christ, they just have not finished the report. The state has assisted in the defense in requesting this information from law enforcement. 4. Additional time is needed to prepare the case for the trial. 5. The defendant previously waived her right to a speedy trial. 6. The defendant would request a double roll of continuance. 7, Assistant State Attorney Ashley Terwilliger has been Terwilliger. Wow, what does that name sound familiar? Has been contacted and does not object to granting of this motion. 8, the motion is made in good faith and not for a purpose of delay. Now, I'm no lawyer. Double roll continuance, I've never heard of. I know continuance is that basically, you're going to be asking a judge to continue. Now, if they're doing a double roll, does this mean that they're going to be asking for another continuance when this continuance is over? Is a possibility. I mean, if the freaking homicide investigation is not completed, really, this is again, this is what I said. This is the problem with our criminal justice system. And when you're investigating something and you're going to send it to trial and all that, the investigation should be completed, not rushed. This is how you get, basically, you lose your trial, as far as the DA loses its trial on this because of the way it's been put together. And also, it could be lost in appeal. Say the judgment and she's found guilty. On appeal, they might find her innocent. Because basically they haven't gotten all their ducks in a row. This is incredible that this is going on. I lived in Florida, and they do go through pretty well with the justice system down there. They have some stringent rules and regulations. When it comes to criminal, if you have a gun, you shoot the gun off. They have that 3 strikes rule. And many others that are on there. The DUI rules are pretty strict in Florida, because basically, you do have a major problem down there because everybody's drinking, especially spring break and all that. It's no different than any other state, but you see a major problem when it comes to that. Basically, alcohol is way out in the open here. It's not a major issue is that, you're drinking outside, at the beach, stuff like that. But it's that when you get behind the wheel of a car and, you decide to drive, that's where we get the problem. That's why they have those rules in Florida, that are very strict when it comes to this. Now, the thing is that also there is a civil lawsuit being prepared as well by the family of the person that had died because of this incident, and I don't know if that will be coming first or second. That should at least delay until this is completed. And I always say this: the criminal trial should always go first, and then the civil, because basically, if you send the civil first, you're going to end up with situations just like what happened with the Bill Cosby trial, where basically, you had the civil go through, and basically, we got him now, because of what he said in the civil case. But then a judge came back and said, no, actually, you violated his constitutional rights. So they released him. People are angry. Say, well, he didn't get just. I said he didn't get his rights proper. It's the same thing I say with Ron Jeremy. Neither the plaintiff or the defendant in the Ron Jeremy trial didn't get their day in court. You have to have your day in court. You have to have respects. Follow the pattern on there. Here, where we're seeing a situation. Now, hopefully, this gets remedy before it hits trial. That the judge is smart enough to approve this, because as of Monday morning, when we recorded this, it hasn't been approved. We'll come up with an update if it does, because they have, 3 more days. As of Monday, when this recording, they have 3 more days before hearing is set. So probably by the 16th, we'll know something by then. So you tell me in the comments below your thoughts. I would like to hear about this. Like I said, there's been, our criminal justice system has been failing a lot lately. A lot. And I think it's just the laziness, the speediness of the situation, and obviously speedy trial situation. But I think they're not putting to the perspective that they're doing their due diligence getting all their ducks in a row, their witnesses, the evidence, and everything together. It becomes a situation where, people get let go for things that, and then people are upset. Why? This is why you have situations where pay attention who's the district attorney in your local city. We have District Attorney D.A. Bragg here, who is a impossible knucklehead. This guy's letting people out left and right, and meanwhile, as soon as he lets them out, they commit another crime. The recidivant rate is through the roof here in New York. And if you don't know what recidivant is, it is
repeat offender.
Not a pretty name, is it, Hi?
Yes, people are continuing to repeat. As soon as they get out of the jail, you had those guys that got arrested, what was it, in Queens or in Staten Island? That they were arrested. They said, I'll be out in 24 hours. I know it for a fact. Basically, this is their thoughts. When you get arrested, people are like, oh shit, I got arrested, I'm in trouble. No, today's like, they're going to let me out in 24 hours. It's like getting a jaywalking ticket. That's how it's felt. So do tell me your thoughts of this whole situation. And we're talking about the Sonny Sytch, the criminal justice system, everything comes onto the line. We're going to continue to monitor this. So remember, if you haven't yet, hit that subscription button, hit that like, and share this video. Because one thing about some of these trials, and I've had people subscribe and said thank you, and they have thanked me for some of this coverage, is that other YouTubers and the mainstream media hasn't been covering. Even though the Sonny Sytch trial is being covered by a small group of the wrestling shows on there that have been covering it, but not enough. Also, one thing with the Mercedes Carrera trial, nobody's covering it. Nobody is looking at this. Is it because that there are questions that should be answered? Possibility. It's 4 years. It's 4 years we're on this case. It hasn't seen the light of day. That's Mercedes Carrera and her is it her husband or boyfriend or whoever it is? They have been in a jail cell for 4 years without getting their day in court. By now, I mean, if she had a regular lawyer and not a state appointed lawyer, I would be asking for a freaking bail reduction. They're already in there 4 years on $2 million bail each. That's $4 million. That's over aggressive on the bail right there. So once again, we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.